Hello, hello. Everything should be good? Question mark. All right. Let's get right into it. Final case of the final game of the trilogy. And we are on the trial after the initial investigation. We're Edgeworth. Not Phoenix. God. So good to have a callback. Yet again. Ooh. Right. It's not supposed. I think it's Francisca. It's got to be Francisca, right? There's no Godot. Godot is not. I think he was like not answering his phone or whatever. And there's a lot of unknowns about this case currently. I think today's trial is mainly going to be like sorting things out and putting a potential murderer in the limelight, I guess. But we're gonna get right into it. Iris is very suspicious, Dahlia Hawthorne type shit, and I don't know. There's some weird stuff, spirit medium stuff going on. Yep. Oh my. Mr. Larice feels that way about me? Right. His quote-unquote blackmail love letter. God. Larry. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. Oh. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Uh-huh. Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. That's right. He wanted to interrogate Larry, bruh. Or Larry. Does that mean Mr. Larice is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you were carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dunim, correct? Huh? That is correct. It wasn't me. I believe. I mean, obviously we have the psycho locks. Thank you, Edgeworth, for that. But, I didn't think it was her. Something's up. Well, then. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes. You're a prosecutor, aren't you? You sure about this? If your true identity is revealed. Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements. Francisca. I see. Iris. It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I'm fit to do the task I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth, defense attorney. No, really leaving the vague, huh?
Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
I didn't realize this really is a different judge, by the way. This is like the Canadian judge or whatever, apparently. Oh man, I thought it was his brother or a younger version. I thought it was his younger version of him, but nah. I'm sorry, disrespecting you like that, sir. But, you know. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case.
Indeed.
I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of the court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. But seeing this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I'm ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
It is her! The prosecution stands ready.
And you are?
Francisco von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma?
Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. This is her return, her fateful return, and after being thoroughly defeated too. Oh man, how's she gonna change? She doing a full, not 180, but seeking the truth, like Edgeworth and Wright do now. On a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case.
You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once.
I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor.
Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say?
There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't, but I'm sure...
Ah! I told you, there is no such weakling.
What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at...
Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip.
You don't?
The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I have expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Histrionic? That's a word. Histrionic. Histrionic. Overly theatrical or melodramatic in character or style. Yeah, that is absolutely her. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. All right.
Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Whoa.
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor.
Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case, with as little whipping as possible.
The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Dunil. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue.
The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. Wait, hang on. This is a before. Because she was turned around in the flashback, or the witnessing of it. She was turned the other way. And how did you get it out of its hands to the Shishishito? Uh-huh. Some weird things already. After all, there is a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last try as a defense attorney. I don't know about last. I'm pretty sure he shows up as a protagonist later, right? But I don't remember. But last? Nah, come on. They haven't done this since a kid. Oh man. That's just rude to Sister Bikini, bro. Oh, witness. State your name and occupation, please.
Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight.
If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back-pained plague witness.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for the poor lady, please.
There we go. Looking once again. Your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. Got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone.
But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now.
Wah! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. She's fighting for him for sure.
You want me to leave?
No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Oh, ha, 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 ha. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Uh-huh.
Well, let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
I don't like...
About your own movements that night, eh?
I definitely don't have a fucking Canadian voice going for him. Sorry. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in her temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a nice, long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, and that's when I saw it.
So it was simply a coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple?
Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There is only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
Is Miles gonna feel weird about pressing? Because I'm gonna press her, bro. What? Alright.
Hold it!
Who was this acolyte? What is this inner temple? Well, you see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right?
We'll be the ones asking the questions here, madam.
In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor, watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple, where the murder took place? Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up. Violently. That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was gonna finally finish me off. So I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple. You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The Acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper.
Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple?
Well, the job is simply to watch over the Acolyte so they don't pass away. And just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath at the inner temple.
Hold it!
So, you returned to Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world, ain't it, after all? Wow, I almost did a lot of heart there. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My. What a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. Sister Bikini in a bikini. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? This is why you have to watch the youngins. What are you going on about? Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth.
The lowest of the low.
Is there some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench? Yep. This is what you have to deal with, Edgeworth. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long. You understand, so... It was after I'd finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. And the crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was a pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case.
That certainly seems to be true.
There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. I can clearly point out what it is, and I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. You can see my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris. So I was heading back. Okay. Fingerprints are on it. Need a nice long hot soak. 10 to 11. The time? Uh-huh. He was doing that, or well, we don't know. Do we have proof of that? Need to kind of go over everything again a little bit, sorry. Oh. The picture. The background of that is very interesting. Right. This is our contradiction. So I left Iris to help the Acolyte. I'm almost certain this could be it. Almost certain. We have testimony that Iris, ring lights out, was in her room. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, 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 don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No, she said that. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. Yeah, I thought about that. But that is completely illogical. That's right. We needed to have this more... sure of it? Not suave? I don't know. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that's odd. Never the reason. I can't believe that she would lie.
She does indeed have honest eyes.
All people lie. That is my belief.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means... you must call your memory into question.
Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me, and yet you want to play that game, do you?
Ah, well, that isn't exactly what I...
My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter.
Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick.
And then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination.
Uh-huh. Well, as you can see, yep. Exactly as she had been at dinner. This is the only different statement. Hold it. Are you sure that you're not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimation of me up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake, thinking I made a mistake.
An excellent finish there, witness.
Still, I have to wonder. Why am I like safe's coming now? She'd given the what's it called? She'd given her hood away. Ha! I didn't even know. I just looked at it. I was like, oh, she gave the hood away. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant, whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon-warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing. I'll have you know. Wah ha 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 ha. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? Huh. That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. Oh, what? What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well. Damn. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Ha
Order! Order in the court!
Whoa! Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them.
I see, a stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh?
Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owns.
Then this is quite strange.
Wow! If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt.
Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath, or on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Alright. After my bath. Bum. I finished my bath around 11. I thought I should return to the inner temple. Is that time weird already? Oh. Cause of loss. Around 11. It's reasonable. And I was walking back. I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was, oh, mysticalese, and with the sword of all things. See, this is different than the crime scene photo we got. Look at this. Way different. So for some reason, the sword was moved out. Was she trying to assist? Ooh. Trying to help, maybe? Or it's a fake sword? They did a one-over on us? Heyo, welcome in. Huh, okay. Strange things are afoot. Have a good time, how about you? Mystic Elise was staying in there, in the corner room, which faced out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window.
You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that.
This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Yeah. Hopefully it's been good. Halfway through the week. Almost the weekend. Not really, but you know. Get in there. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Hey, it's a nice... It's the fun part about Francisca. And the whipping. Okay. Gotta find her contradiction. Yep, that's how I feel about it too. But I'm a presser. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? This should take a while. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still. Yo, thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy. Don't know if you know anything about, what's it called? Ace Attorney, but pretty interesting games. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. Okay. So this might be relevant because Elise. That's fair. It's kind of, well, it's touted as, you know, you're an attorney, but it's kind of like a detective game, more like, where you have to solve everything so you can attorney and make them not guilty, but yeah, that's fair. So it's also a hard game to drop into, so unless you know what's going on. But right now I've done like an initial investigation and this lady is dead. And I think currently this person has done it, but I don't even know who it is yet. We're kind of like in the process, the initial process of like figuring out who. Oh, they can be quite hard. Some of them you have to be thorough, and it's like, here's a good thing. Yeah, like sometimes you have to present. Oh, I did not mean to present that. Well, you have to do it correctly, or you know, you take a hit like that. But anyway, and you need to be very detail oriented. For now. This is like the final case of the trilogy. There's more games after this, but I think I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. A noise from the courtyard. Take a look. You say you heard a noise. Thump. Just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know? You can never hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump. Just like that. I'm planning on finishing this, and then I'm kind of open to suggestions, but I was thinking, I don't know, I want to stick to RPG stuff, typically, but I was thinking of playing the Mouse PI for Hire game next, but I don't know. I also sticking to an RPG, old school RPG. Yeah, probably. This is a decent one though. Not many viewership on Twitch, but I get a person that drops in. Yeah, for sure, that too. Then, can't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Wahahaha. Ho ho ho! The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... Yep, me too. That's slowly working on it, you know? Trying to make sure stuff's getting there, slowly but surely. Iris was... Oh, Mystic Lise, and that sword of all things. The sword is actually the strange part. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Alright, Edgeworth getting the freebies. Like homepage panels? Or like I have panels, yeah. Oh. Now that you mention it, there's something awfully strange about her. Something that had been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! We already went through this. Her hood. And that's right, it's coming back to me. She wasn't wearing her hood. Oh, man. I don't know why that's a revelation when this was literally talked about moments ago, but okay. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Huh. You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. I don't know about the model. This is just a pre-made model, so, you know, something cheap to get me started. I know there's like different expressions or whatever. Like I know there's this one had like a like a sword sheath and stuff, you know. Oh, the smoke pipe. Yeah, the evil eye shit. There's a few of them. Yeah, that's probably important. It's important. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but eventually, but not really looking right now. Like you said, there's other things to worry about. And making sure I can be like consistent for myself. Make sure if I wanted to invest into it. But I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my foot.
Witness, add that statement to your testimony.
No problem. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on.
Hold it!
You are sure about that? Yes. After all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah, I don't mean because we're poor, you understand? It's our style. Yes, that's it. There's absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my wife. Yeah, for sure. At least, then, it might bite you, and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on, I'm sure of it.
Very well.
Now, please tell us about the victim, eh? I don't know why her hood missing is... I don't think her hood missing is important quite yet. The room the victim was... Yeah, I figured. Hopefully, you get some people that come in and want your stuff, you know, but it's expensive. In the room the victim was staying. I'm alright for now, but maybe someday. The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, yeah, correct.
Which means the victim's room was on the second floor.
No, Hazakura Temple is a single-story building, but the mount itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building. Okay.
I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct?
Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to the room, after all. Okay. I might look into it, but like I said, I'm just trying stuff out now. Okay. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. What makes you so sure of all of this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that. You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. That was after the death, though, isn't it?
It appears that the witness was not mistaken then.
Yep. I'm more than a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of the Hazakura Temple.
There's only 2 of them working together.
What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? And no snappy comeback remark? That's right, Edgeworth doesn't have a partner in this. Ah well. Doesn't feel like she's lying. This is a very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I can believe in right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney. Alright, well, something about the hood. I mean, we know she gave it to Phoenix. Iris didn't have her hood. Wonder if just presenting the hood means anything, but no, that's what I thought. So it might not be important yet. Was then in a room until the murder was discovered.
Hold it!
You're sure about that? Oh, wait. Like, hold... Wait. Okay. I think it's, it's the magazine photo where she didn't have her hood in the magazine photo either. Nope. Damn it. Alright. Well done, Your Honor. I was only testing you just now. Alright. That's his rebuttal. After. Wait, no. Happened before. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Body fell 10 feet after her death.
Objection!
Yep, perfect. Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say, anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah.
That's right. It says after death right here.
The scene of the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? That is the mystery.
Order, order!
The victim was killed and then fell.
If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Nim's room? She was stabbed with a sword that would leave a blood stain. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood?
No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
Your whip has caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard.
The playoff beard, not that.
However,
I'm sure there is no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure Your Honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood.
when it produces the most blood.
Very little blood is when it's removed. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, the weapon's still in place. It acts like a lid on the wound.
That's true. If the weapon's still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding.
A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. You've come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. But she died from blood loss, though.
Order, order! I must admit that this is a probable version of events.
I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. The witness, please, remain standing on the crate.
Don't go selling me short now. Stand up. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip. Oh boy. All right. With the whip. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. So she was stabbed beforehand. I think Iris is trying to assist her. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. Yep. I've never seen so much blood before. It's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Amy was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. That is a strange thing that has occurred.
This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Franziska Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you that. The beef between them is so good. Across the scene, the sword was already in place. That is strange. I'm Oppressor. At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Nope, she did not. Okay. Think carefully. This is very important. It's Iris we're talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No. When I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped in the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. I've never seen so much blood before. So why is there blood? So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Her clothes were blood-flecked as well.
That seems quite conclusive to me.
Have that added to the testimony. Press further. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding. Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. Yeah, why are you...
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed. But I saw the girl pull the sword out of her. Plain as day. That's what I thought. That could be an assisting move, though. Supposedly. Pulling the sword out. Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony.
Oh, was that important? More important than you can imagine. Saw the instant in which the blade plunged in to the hilt. Plunged into the hilt was smoothly drawn out. Definitely not to the hilt. Not that sword. Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out. That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Amy Faye. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. Slid out from that gaping wound. Ah!
It goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding.
Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. I've never seen so much blood before. It's the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword. No mistaking it. I remember it clear as day. Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all she wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the golden statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts, Miss Von Karma? That's... putting her on the stand.
Indeed, it is strange now that you mention it.
Going to need find an answer to this mystery too. Anyway, The witness saw something terrible. So what did you do after that one? Dodges the question, huh? It's when I fainted.
Hold it.
And now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct? Well, I was unconscious. How long were you out for? I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually.
I'm not sure I like this method of resuscitation.
Well, I wasn't asking for mouth to mouth, or anything of the sort. But I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, and let me tell you. I shall have a word with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening? When I awoke,
Hold it.
Mystic Amy. By Mystic Amy, are you referring to the golden statue, correct? Just stabbing someone with a shishishito, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But to then make Mystic Amy hold the blade? Truly a heinous, despicable crime. It is easy to despise something anyone can do. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, what is the problem? Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that?
You'll have to. No, I don't think I can.
There isn't always a logical reason why someone acts. Behind why someone acts. That's true. So true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself... There isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. Someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary for to use a shishishito from the Ami statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws of this assessment, perhaps I'll begin to find the truth. There isn't always... What do you mean by that? Oh. Is it the press? I want to press her one more time on this.
Hold it.
Hold it. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's... What's the problem? There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. Uh-huh. Okay. Not a logical reason. This is our contradiction, because the blade is not stained to the hilt. Present the sword.
Objection.
Objection. Sister Bikini, are you a reliable witness? At least, I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. Nope. That's how I'm feeling.
What do you mean? Please explain.
Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? Not with an insane amount of force. No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Objection.
Doesn't appear. What meaningless dribble. I, too, may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I so choose. Alright. Well. Just lays down real quick. I mean, what?
The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit.
Hey, the judge knows what's up. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at the branches on it. it certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
Objection!
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the shishishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. Huh. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction.
You've still got more!
This one is simple. If the sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, there would be bloodstains all the way to the hilt. Why is there only blood on the tip of it? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Bum.
Order, order! Whoa!
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
But what does this all mean? You've proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but...
Having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the shishishito.
What?
A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardily foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well... it's because Mystic Amy was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the shishishito was the murder weapon. Yep.
Order, order!
So maybe the shishishito was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with the sword-like objects.
That's true.
Glass of water, or a sip of water.
Your response, Mr. Edgeworth?
If that is so, I would like the prosecutor. Heyo, how you doing? Hopefully have your good. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. That was weird, weirdly. Wow, I am all over my words. I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's...
Answer the question, Miss Von Karma.
No evidence of that kind was found. There's no murder weapon.
Another mystery to throw onto the pile.
That is true.
A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I definitely plan to be. I think I might, after I finish this game, I will probably play a different game, but then I think I'd come back to this, you know? So I've been playing, I've done this whole trilogy, Done this whole trilogy like back to back to back, so give it a short break, but I'll be back for sure because these are hella fun, and I like the deductive reasoning stuff. I'm assuming you've played these then, probably. I was just thinking it's possible that just maybe what actually happened, it was just over there. Is she gonna say Inner Temple? Or Heavenly Hall?
What exactly are you going on about?
Yeah, that's fair. It's I mean, I've been checking out other streamers, but like you don't want to get spoiled, so like you hop in unless you've already played what they're currently streaming, you know. So, well, hopefully, I hope you enjoy me. I'm having a good time, even with only you here, I guess.
What exactly are you going on about?
The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe... I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You in the river? You what? Well then. I think we need to hear the testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Okay, this is completely new, actually. Saw the murder at around 11 p.m. And after asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. Okay. But it's true, Phoenix ran to the payphone, or the public phone. Okay, that is true, we don't know where she went. Ah, there. I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Okay. Takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Okay. This is an interesting tidbit.
Witness, please tell us everything you know right away.
Oh wait, right this time. Well, I'm not in the best shape. What with my back and my age, you know. Quite. There was indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here is a photograph. Ooh, new evidence. Okay. That implies it was returning, though, not that it left. Unless they're smart enough to turn it around when they departed.
A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Okay. Who would... I know Larry was at Dusky Bridge. Is that reasonable? It was Larry? Maybe. Too many questions. We continue. That solves your pesky little problem, yes. The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in the winter. We don't know Larry's full story either, actually, because he was being secretive. Oh man. Alright. Making it the perfect place. Yep. Something smells. It's usually the butts. Making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. That's probably what he saw, though, the disposal of it, I'm assuming. She'd really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon.
Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please.
Okay. What's the point I need to contradict here, though? We're gonna press her. You are sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all.
Why was that?
Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night long, now could I? So So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister. After asking me to be reported, this is when Phoenix left. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. Seems she's the type to hold a grudge. Hey, if I got stepped on, I'd feel it. There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home, apparently. Oh, what a naive boy, as always. God damn it, Phoenix. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared, and I was taking him a while to get back, so I thought I'd go out to the main gate for a spell. Is she gonna assume it was Phoenix that took the snowmobile down? Or snowmobile had been used? As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. And that's it. That's the one we have. Only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she had already gone, discarded the murder weapon and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Press further. I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question. Was it still warm at that time? Huh? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? That is not something you're likely to check, I feel like.
What do you mean, eh?
What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. So this is pointless.
That's right. I overlooked that too.
Of course you did. Then answer the question, witness. She doesn't know. God damn it. I don't often go around touching hot engines. Neither do I. Oh? However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Yep. That's fair. That was in the picture too, now that you mention it. No snow.
Snow.
Yep. Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Persons.
It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then. Eh?
How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? Oh. Okay. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? Could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain?
I think that's why the question was asked in the first place.
It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. I'd fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch. Just like that. Crunch. Damn. The judge, too? What'd he crunch? I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Debatable. This is also a theory. Threw the weapon into the river. Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the... Wait. Phoenix would know this if the snowmobile would come by. Because he ran the whole way. Does that mean we need Phoenix to come in? I have to concede that is more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? Heh, no response. Could have done that.
Hold it!
Well, it would have been possible, time-wise. One element remains out of place here.
Oh, and what would this mysterious element be?
The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods?
Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor?
What?
She's as over the top as always. Anyway. Whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Is there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now that I have all I have to do is start poking holes. Saw tracks, yes. Do we have a Phoenix testimony? I don't think so. Do we have a Phoenix profile? Ooh, maybe. So it's either the photo, the tracks photo, with Phoenix's footprints. There. I saw tracks. It's either that the tracks were returning or that Phoenix should have seen the snowmobile.
Objection!
Alright, that's fair. I think it's the photo then. That is true. I think the photo right here.
Objection!
No. No. It's one of those situations where I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. Went out to the main gate, and there, I saw tracks. Contradiction in this, though. Maybe it's the map? Dun, 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 dun. I don't like this. Maybe they threw the weapon into the Eagle River and came back.
Objection!
No. Alright.
Unfortunately, I cannot accept this evidence.
Right, we don't have a Phoenix Wright testimony, so that's not important yet. She can drive a snowmobile after all.
Objection!
There we go. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Let's go. I was on the right track. God damn it. Pun intended. But there's only return tracks. Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If that was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. That's how I wanted to say it. I didn't know how to say it. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah! You're right! We're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it? No, because Phoenix's footprints are there, which means it was not currently.
I see. Well, she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snow covered one set of tracks. They're absolutely... I think it is the Phoenix Wright. It might be the weather report, too. We have a full weather report. 7 to 10:50 p.m. There is a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. But do you care to explain why there's a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow.
The weather data. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder.
The weather report?
Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped around 10:50 p.m. Ah, cluing in. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up.
Order. Very well then. It looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Ha 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 ha. Wah!
It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Trial snow day. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct?
Ah, no. You've got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data.
Yeah. Forecast data. All weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. That is fair.
It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh?
What? How did she pull that off?
It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this.
Come this far, there's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Huh. You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Very well, then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
Snowing when the victim was killed? That means it might have been this. There'd be snow on her. It's this photo.
Take that!
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right. But proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Dunin. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple, really. It had stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph, there should be 2 sets of tracks. Ah!
Order! Just what are you?
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. I think they got that wrong. No, that has to be wrong, because the snowmobile was from the tracks. It can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazak... Oh. No, this is just somebody else. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, they left tracks. The snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. That is true. Edgeworth's statement is, I believe, to be accurate. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Yeah, that's important. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. Okay, that is important. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. Should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed it on foot. Okay. What's the proof that this is the events that happened, though?
That sounds right.
Sounds right, indeed. But what's odd is, when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, she didn't see it. I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. Must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe. When I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. Aha.
But that's impossible.
So Edgeworth's version of events is not right either. I think it's gotta be Larry. But if Irish had the only key, actually. Maybe the double Irish theory is coming back in play, huh? Interesting, interesting. We have proof that the snowmobile was used after what's her name? Bikini returned to the temple. It was after that time.
Order, order. Order in the court. What does all this mean?
So, then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. Used for... If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in the photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. Never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble.
I think we've learned all we can from this witness.
Yes. I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know.
But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night?
I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame.
Hold on. One Phoenix Wright. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor. Actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us.
Really?
No, someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder. I don't remember. And it's easy to forget, huh? I don't know for sure if you saw it or not. But there are 2 things about him that do come to mind. His idiotic nature to run through the freezing.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible. Oh, he's talking about Larry. Something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being, this individual that I am thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about?
It's gotta be Larry. Could have been Phoenix, but it's gotta be Larry. This guy.
This guy must be the product of Jean-Luc Deluxe, Guide to Obnoxious French Paintings.
This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Dunim.
Her student. Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside of the night of the murder?
That's unknown. I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man. Is this the first case Franziska's had with Larry? Oh man, Larry's gonna be smitten with her, bro. Oh, I can't wait to see it. What exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom.
Summon this youth as a witness immediately.
I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him.
Very well.
Larry, don't fail me now. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you.
The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness.
Understood, Your Honor. What if she tries to manipulate him and he's just Larry?
Good. Well then, court is now in recess.
To be continued. Alright. A full-on Larry. Larry, dude. Larry, dude. February 9th, 11:15. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. It has to be Pearl, right? Either you or Sister Bikini are lying. There's two Irises, somehow. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room, in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There was only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? No. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Fucker, dude. She also just straight lied. She lied beforehand, too. Because, what's it called? She did leave her room. What? Iris. I can't tell you about that yet. Yet. Not until her safety is confirmed. She sent Pearl. Her. Safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? Pearl or Maya? She must be talking about Maya. The plot thickens. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Dunim? No. No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. Okay. As I thought, no psycho logs. Is it just a matter of appearance then? Oh man, there's something. I don't think we're gonna get to it. We need more information still. Very well. It is my job to get the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. February 9th, 11:36 a.m. Time to interrogate Larry Butts.
Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness?
During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely.
Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious wit. Yes, smitten with her, bro.
I can only presume that his intention...
Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. I want to see that picture so bad. Actually, he's a good artist. Larice Dunim, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem that Whip is going to see plenty more use today. And he is gonna enjoy it. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey! I was just artistically... Ouch! I tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your sub-poena. You were trying to run away from your sub-poena, correct? Look, I'm nothing more but a fledgling artist, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use a technical term for the color, Viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store, now is it? I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it?
Working in the fields?
I presume he wanted to say field work, I hope. That's it, thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop by in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake, bright red. Or, to use the technical term, crimson lake. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ouch. Ow.
Ouch!
Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man.
Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now.
Wow. This is too much for me, man. Where to start? I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone in the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I, Edgy?
Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony.
I'm just a nobody. Nobody but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else?
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex.
He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. What was that? Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. He has broken up with quite a few girlfriends. And he has been a major part of major cases.
Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time.
What I saw. I'ma press him. After a quick save. Alright, Larry, show me what you got.
Hold it!
Something incredible is gonna be something incredibly stupid. I can tell. But
Whatever is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
this one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That run-down shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right? See, you can do it if you try. Ow! There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge.
Hold it!
You walked.
A number of times. How many? Maybe 5 times? I went once every 20 minutes. Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. You bet. Real love is all about waiting with your heart in your hands.
Love you, sir.
Was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack, using this blackmail letter?
Blackmail?
No, that was simply a product of overflowing love. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness.
So, what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy, puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness, eh?
Well, you see, being called those names doesn't seem to bother him at all. That's just how tough Larry is. I didn't see a snowmobile.
Hold it!
Hold it! Larry, you really didn't see it. Hey, no need to hit your desk, I can hear you. I didn't see it. I didn't see a snowmobile. Larry, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile? If you truly had nothing to hide, then why are you stammering like you flew over a cuckoo's nest? Shut up! What is it this? I don't know. Don't ask me. It seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I'm going to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. You didn't meet anyone. That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this, man. And I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on! I expect to see those Crimson Lake faces now.
It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth.
Indeed. Seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions to keep things moving along. It's actually the final statement. Because he did meet Phoenix Wright. Ba-dum-bum. Alright, well. You met him. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry, dude. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy, are you trying to console me? Aw.
It certainly doesn't sound that way to me.
However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. Wah! Totally pinning this on me, dude. And now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. And there he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me in the flesh.
Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change.
But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying the truth about this one issue, is all I need from you. Edgy, I think I finally woken up. Hell yeah. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well.
I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder?
What I saw. Part 2. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. A white flash? Possible, okay. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick.
You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you?
So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out. Like, almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. You just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky.
Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination.
All right, Larry. You saved my ass. But now you're being a nuisance. What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess.
Excited? Dare I even ask?
I set the meeting time at 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come out early, too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was just getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. Lying under the bedding. This light was, of course, lightning, dude. Like, pow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom. Wow! Or a little like that. Oh, that's more like a punch from Miranda.
Oh, witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge?
Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of light, so I looked out the window.
Hold it.
Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge. Well, to be honest, I was freezing cold, so first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. And it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind.
I'm not sure I care for the forget it attitude you have at first, Witness.
There was still some thunder, and I went right away. You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? Lightning fell, and then the bridge caught on fire, maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is the small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk? And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Oh well, should I press him? I think the why didn't you call anyone's more important. The why did you go to the bridge too? I think it's actually the second one. Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? I called you. Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that.
So then, let's hear why you did it.
Huh? Yeah, okay. A reason. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay?
Hold it!
Nope. Said right away. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Why did you go to the bridge? So, you suddenly thought to check out the bridge. Does this mean that you had initially no intention of doing so? Well, yeah, I guess I did. It does. It was really cold, man. I didn't really want to go out of there. If that's the case, why did you change your mind? I would like to hear your reasoning.
In which case, please give testimony to that effect, Witness.
My reasoning? Okay, reasoning, is it? I thought I'd never get a chance to see something so big burning. This changed for Nick.
Hold it!
Hold it. So, you decided to go and see what was happening. And that's right. We're talking about a massive suspension bridge burning to high heaven. That's not something you see every day. A real like really special, man. Can we really trust a witness who's unable to pronounce spectacle?
Life seems to love hitting this poor witness below the belt.
Well, my motto is to hit life back as hard as I can. Ah! I'll give you a few hits too, if you like, with my wit. You told me about the burning bridge yesterday. But there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. Something burning so big. Fire starting and going out. So it would have been around 10:30. No, he arrived early because of the weather report.
Objection!
No? Damn it. Alright. Out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. Thought I'd never get another chance to see something so big burning. Uh-huh. Main gate to Dusky Bridge. No. Okay,
Objection!
Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't accept that.
God damn it. Why is this change? Still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. Another chance to see something so big burning. No. Only thing I can think of is the weather report. 30 minutes between the fire burning. Still some thunder. Dusky Bridge was on fire. I think this is too early, right?
Objection!
Fuck! I think it's the map. Maybe it is the map, because he definitely could have. He could see it from the what's it called?
Objection!
Really? Thought I'd never get another chance to see. Why do you move closer to the thing then? Thought I'd never get another chance to see something so big. Looks like, despite... Okay.
Hold it!
That's right. It's not something you see every day. A real... Okay. Uh-huh. Well, my motto is to hit life back as hard as I can. But there's something... Still something that doesn't quite fit. Looks like, despite his change of heart. We repress him again here. Seeing that, what did you do? It was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. That's why you went to look. Well, to be honest, it's freezing cold. Hmm. 5-minute walk. The bonfires. Oh, you know what? Why didn't you call anyone? Thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you did. Huh? Yeah, okay. Isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
Hold it!
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright. Yeah. I thought I'd better tell someone about this. But then Nick came up yelling about the murder. Totally made me forget about the bridge. I was pretty much out by then, and anyway. Suddenly I have a terrible case of unease. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less. He told me about the burning bridge, yes. I'm pretty sure... That's interesting that they put different options. Starting to put different options between different answers. The weather... Yep. Around 30 minutes.
Objection!
Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on the bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch him with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from that night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there around 11 p.m. And that all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there, in the courtyard. Ah, that's a good contradiction. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Ah, excuse me. I have an objection.
You do.
Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm Louis Stu. Yeah! It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Franziska von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15.
Which means, what exactly?
Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by a toilet splashback, dude. I guess I was still... Oh man, I didn't know I was gonna skip.
Order, order, order! Order!
So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there's a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident?
Yes, witness, why didn't you? You there simply to watch the bridge burn.
And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there, staring into space. This witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. But this is Larry we are talking about. And even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means that there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy. I didn't know you thought of me like that. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Then say it already.
Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have this witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness?
Alright. This is a key, vital part. I'm a Dunim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipping up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Let's see it, Larry. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out, and then he came running up. Really?
I suppose artists can be strange folk.
That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it.
Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts?
Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains.
And what would that be?
This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. Ha ha ha! You'll regret this, Edgy. Why regret it? I'm a Dunim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Tell us, Larry. My name is Larice. Get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am.
Just who exactly are you?
I'm Larice Dunim, apprentice extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself in any case.
And then you are an artist? Of course.
Oh, of course, I'm an artist, the real thing. Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There's only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? That is a very big issue indeed. Sketching. In front of the bridge, I was whipping up a frenzy of art. Sketching the burning bridge. The burning bridge and everything that came with it. Respect it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. That sketch of mine is... Yeah, enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant this sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. We have to see. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, well. Even I couldn't have imagined it turned out like this. Imagined what? that Laurice du Nim's debut would take place here, today like this. Whoa. Show it now. Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Laurice du Nim. He saw a ghost.
Ah. Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma?
Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure? Ah, you spotted that. I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course. Iris. I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan out for her future, you know? What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Larry, please answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist. A real artist.
Are you high? The girl, she's really high up in this picture. Whoa, what was that for?
This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you to check on the cheek to test that theory.
Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly.
Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. But she was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see.
This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring this witness back down to earth.
What? Me?
This witness is your friend, is he not?
Ha. Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth.
Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here.
Yes, Your Honor. It's like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what do you think of my debut piece?
Get that thing away from me.
So I will note.
Now, hurry up and cross-examine him.
I will note that in the map, one of the supporting ley lines, whatever they are, is gone. I don't think you get enough momentum to swing all the way above the bridge like that. Okay. I saw Iris flying. Her hood, white hood.
Hold it!
Doesn't have her white hood. Just where did you see this sight from? Hey, no need to shout. When I was lying in bed in that rundown shack, the crack of lightning bolt made me realize the bridge was burning. I just watched it for a while from there, thinking how nicely it was burning. And after about 5 minutes, I saw it. The defendant flying. And that's right. And that's when I decided to go to the bridge.
I see. That all makes sense. Aside from the sketch itself.
Yes. This sketch doesn't make any sense. Just need to convince the artist that his work is ludicrous. We transferred everything directly onto the page. And that is this sketch here. Yep, sensational, isn't it? Or should that be scandalous? I put my mind at ease anyway. It did. And that's right. The reason she didn't come to me, even though I waited for her, is because she was trapped on the other side of the bridge.
Oh.
Could it be that Iris undertook that dangerous, desperate flight in order to reach me? That's gotta be it. Alright, go me. Nice. Continue, please. Okay. You forgot the passage of time to that extent, did you? Well, once I get caught up in something, I tend to forget everything else. That's true. He's always been that way. Guess he's not lying about this, at least. Phoenix Wright appears on the scene after 11:15. He was drawing until then. That dispels all doubts, aside from doubts of his humanity.
Aside from doubts of his humanity, eh?
So there's a big clue waiting for me in this crossing. Less than mock the court, but I'm sure that there's a vital kernel of truth hidden in it somewhere. Hold it! God damn it! I didn't want that. Ba-da-bum. Let me save though too. Bum bum bum. This is what he saw. The White Hood. Larry. A decoy? Is there 3 irises? Oh, Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 that it's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain.
What might that be?
That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Wah! The foolhardy folly of the foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual of whom you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite a way from the bridge. Hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood of my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Wow! Seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now, perhaps? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
What?
What? Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick, you dog? God.
I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage.
What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness?
I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. definitive evidence. Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Laurice Dunib, shall prove it. Let's see it.
I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful... Okay. A decoy, then? That could be the quote-unquote head. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. And after that, after all, no one could have lost a crystal sphere that night.
Crystal sphere.
This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. Whose blood is that? Whose blood is on it? That sphere. Where did you find it? Okay. That's from across the lake, though. So the murder happened... Ah, fuck. The murder happened in Inner Temple. Wait. Huh. So we know this guy, it got flung. How did they do that? It got flung across when the thing snapped, I feel is relatively obvious. And it was set up as a decoy. Which is probably going to make us think that Maya did it. Or the second Iris. My question is, how did the body... How did the body get from Inner Temple to there? Or was it just the crystal ball that was moved to the bridge? Let's see here. Around here somewhere. Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. Had it pretty much stopped snowing by then, but there were still some falling as I walked to the bridge.
The court accepts this crystal sphere.
That's mine, okay? I want it back afterwards.
There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood.
What? Blood. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Lurie Stunim only a few minutes ago? Proof that Iris flew. We're continuing, which is interesting.
Hold it!
So, you went to the burning bridge. And that's right, to meet Iris. She actually flew to get me to me. The least I can do is meet her halfway.
But the defendant was not at the bridge when you got there, you say?
I guess she went back to Hazakura Temple. She's a girl after all. She must have wanted to look her best. It must be lovely to live in the fantasy land of Larry's mind. Actually, it's so depressing that I can't even work up the energy to point.
So what did you do next?
Hold it!
Okay. So you searched all over her for her. Does that mean Elise? Wait, no. It's possible that it was Elise. 10:45 plus 5 minutes for Larry to get there and start sketching, right? So 10:50 on the dot. Elise flies over, dropping her crystal ball. And then she takes the snowmobile. 5 minutes to Hazakura Temple. And then she was murdered. She's flying pretty high, you know? Thought maybe she slipped up on her landing and got hurt. Hey, it was more than possible. Also, when I headed out of the shack the first time, I was snacking on a banana. I was pretty sure I threw the peel away somewhere around there, so you know. Can one guy really be this stupid? So, did you find any signs of her so-called landing? I don't really remember. I kept on falling over myself and kind of lost it for a while there.
You fell over yourself.
Yeah, the snow was deep. And there was even a banana peel out there. God damn it. Yep, there's stupid. And then there's Larry Butts.
The short of it is that you didn't find any signs of her landing, correct? Then what happened next?
Hold it!
Half buried. It was sitting in the snow, with a little gathered on top of it. It was very hard to spot, actually. I mean, it was dark out, too.
I'm impressed. You did well to find it.
No matter what you may think when you look at me, I'm a pro, a genius security guard. I used a pen light I borrowed from my company to help in my search, and it sparkled really brightly, as if it was saying, "Here I am," to me. It does indeed look very much like the crystal sphere on Iris's hood. But need I remind you that she was not wearing her hood that night. Simply wearing a spare hood. Each nun is assigned their own hood, and they are assigned only one. I don't know anything about that, okay? And Iris is special, alright, dude? Even if she did steal a spare hood, I'll forgive her. This is getting us nowhere. Our destination for the day, it seems. Ha.
However, this crystal sphere was found near the bridge. That is a fact. If it didn't come to this from a hood, where could it have come from?
That is the question I aim to answer. Okay. That's our content. Let me confirm this one last time, Larry. The reason you thought that this was Iris, or the hood in the crystal sphere, correct? That's right. My gut is never wrong. I met that old bikini the next morning, and her crystal sphere was still there, safe and sound.
Indeed. She was wearing it in this very room earlier today.
This case isn't going to end without a fight. Exposing the obvious contradictions is the only, and the testimony will be easy. But I fear that all that awaits us are further mysteries.
Objection!
It is. Larry. That night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was. Who? Who was this stupid idiot? Miss Elise Dunid, the mentor of a stupid idiot. The victim. I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph, give it back! Ow, ow, ow. A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They look nothing alike! In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the scene of the crime.
Ah, the crystal sphere. It's gone.
Oh. What? What?
Just what does this mean?
If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either.
That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Dunim.
A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that. I saw it. Yeah, with my eyes. And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Dunim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Debatable.
She was not in her room. She was searching for Pearl.
Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Miss Franziska von Karman. The only person who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case.
Objection!
That crystal sphere was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder.
After the murder?
There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No way! All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. I think it can. There is no evidence that Elise Dunim left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely.
Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time.
Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I'll prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case.
You will do what?
That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. Huh. That should come as no surprise. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present
I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
The cane? Is it the cane? Hmm. For the murder. I think it might be the cane. I don't know though.
Take that!
Your response. Birds of a feather. Miles Edgeworth. I think one such bird is calling for its fellow now. Go, go, Edgy. Do it. Prove it. Win, win, win.
Yeah.
The ominous cause of razor. Can it be proven? Prepare yourself. Yes, I can. Oh. Now we have to prove it here. That look in your eye remind me of Phoenix Wright. Why do they... Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Why is this important? Her staff isn't here. She doesn't have her staff here.
Take that!
This crystal sphere was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. Snow would have totally covered it. That's all I need to hear from Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear.
What?
When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slight. Snowing? On the other hand, let's look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Oh! Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? What?
Order, order!
On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose.
What? What could have that have been?
The sphere. There's some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this juncture. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would such a foolish piece of evidence suggest a foolish piece of evidence. Absolute foolishness. Just who is the and which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. Saw the setup. She saw the victim killed by the defendant in the Hazakura temple. That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing. No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. That statement is the truth. Then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. We're forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. The Lisu Nim's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel the Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? By snowmobile, I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. Just need to prove that my version of events is also perfectly plausible.
Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation.
By snowmobile. On that snowy night, there is only one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. Ah! As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body.
Order, order, order!
This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Francisca von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We've shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim, Elise Dunim, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. He did see her flying, bro. It's the fucking Elise. He got murdered. The witness. Battered and bruises, yep. She didn't fall from her window. She got fucking launched across a bridge. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he's enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy, thank you for believing in me. Aww.
That settles it. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances.
Losing again, Von Karma. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Francisca Von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Ray. Really? That's what all this was about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie whipping me, yeah, all day. Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame. Wow. What a shame. It's all your fault. Such a terrible witness. Oh. Oh, I demand satisfaction.
Hey, yo. Oh, I mean, I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. And counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution.
And with this, the rest is up to you, right?
Court is now adjourned.
Very good, dude. Oh man, that was so good. Love the rivalry. Love Edgeworth. Love Franziska. Larry's all right, but and as I figured, absolute boatload of unanswered questions. I think I'm starting to piece it together, though. I think it was Elise Dunim's body that was flown across the bridge. Which means it could be Iris. Or the second Iris? Who had the key? Who had the key to the snowmobile? Where did Pearls go? Maya's going to be definitely under suspicion yet again. Once we get to it was somebody on the inner temple side. But it's also they could have just crossed the bridge. Okay. There's a lot more information to discover. There's also still is it really Dahlia Hawthorne? Or is it a spirit medium thing? But that investigation will be for tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed. If you stopped by, thanks for stopping by. I'm Azrin. Streaming Monday through Thursday on what's it called? 4 p.m. PST. And I'll be back to finish this game off in the next few days. Or well, tomorrow for sure, but hopefully finish it in the next few days. Thanks for watching. Peace.